Well, on another matter, on your side of politics this week, we saw the opposition leader, Susan Lee, addressing the National Press Club. She says she wants to be a zealot to getting more women into the Liberal ranks. She opened the door, it seems to me, to quotas for women, saying that would be up to Liberal branches. It's certainly opened a can of worms as to whether people support this in the party. Tony Abbott and Angus Taylor making it clear they don't. Where do you sit on quotas?
Well, I come from the great state of Queensland, Trudy, and Queensland, the LNP has always sort of pushed back against the concept of quotas, and I'm instinctively against quotas. I think that we need to have the best person for the job. Now, having said that, I think we need to absolutely increase our number of women in the parliament. We're at a very, very low point right now, but we don't need to reinvent the wheel here, because we can look at things like what, say, David Crucifulli did in the last Queensland state election, where he significantly increased the number of women in the Queensland Parliament without having formal quotas, without having quotas for women. So Susan is absolutely right. It is up to the state divisions as to whether they want to implement quotas or not, or some other form of hybrid system. It's up to the state divisions. Just as in every other state, Queensland will formulate a position on that. But certainly my reading of the LNP is that they're probably unlikely to introduce quotas. But hey, we're in uncharted territory right now. We have just had an absolute shellacking at the last federal election, and I think at the end of the day, everything has to be on the table. We need to examine all options in relation to our policies and our structures, and that's what we're doing right now. Everything needs to be on the table. We've got to be able to provide a viable alternative. Australians expect us as an opposition to be a credible opposition, and in order to be a credible opposition, we've got to have the best people in the park, and we need to have more women in the parliament. I don't think anybody would disagree with that.
Yeah, to watch this space, it seems, as to whether some state divisions go down this path. I want to talk about the social media ban that's going to come in for under 16s at the end of the year. If we've still got you there, Andrew.
I'm still here, but
there you go. We've lost your picture.
I'm still here.
Just hang on 2 seconds. Just as we talk about big tech. What are the chances of that?
Bear with me. We'll try this.
I can hear you now. I just want to talk about the social media ban. That's okay. You were the chair of this committee in the last parliament. I know this is an issue close to your heart about how do you actually have this age verification technology to ensure this happens. We saw this week a fight between YouTube and the e-safety commissioner about whether YouTube should have been given an exemption. It seems clear the new minister, Annika Wells, will not give them an exemption like the former minister, Michelle Rowland, was planning to. Do you think YouTube should be included or excluded from the ban?
Look, the evidence that we had in the committee really wasn't pointing to significant issues around YouTube. It was very much centred around the likes of TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, but at the end of the day, I do respect. Hopefully, I'm back. I do respect Julie Inman-Grant. I think she's a very good e-safety commissioner. She is telling us that the evidence is saying, I think the figure that she quoted was 37% of the complaints that her office receives were in relation to complaints around YouTube. Now, that's something that we absolutely need to listen to. We need to be aware of that. I mean, the difficulty is that YouTube is almost ubiquitous in our society, and YouTube is used by. I use it a lot. If I'm out in the shed and I'm trying to figure out how to do something and I don't know how to do it, I'll YouTube it. So many Australians are now using it, and including kids. So Whether there's some way that we can have a YouTube for kids or what, that's something that YouTube will need to work out. But if Julie Inman Grant's telling us that 37% of the complaints that her office receives are as a result of YouTube, legislators like me need to stand up and take notice.
Yeah, we're waiting a decision from the new Minister, Annika Wells, in the next week or so, I'm told, as to whether they will actually exclude YouTube. Shadow Cabinet Secretary Andrew Wallace, appreciate your time on this Saturday night.
Sorry about the camera, Tree.
That's okay.